Hey, it's Dan, and welcome to Unified Gaming. So in this one today, we are going to be focusing on Battlegrounds, the current patch, but more importantly, talking about what's coming in the next patch. If you're unaware, the new patch comes out on Monday, which looks really cool. Some of the sets are absolutely like nuts. If you are a ganker or you like to kind of one-shot people really quickly, it's a patch for you. In the meantime though, whilst we're waiting, I'm just going to test a few of the builds I haven't had a chance to and just see how they feel, what's working, what's not, how's the meta on PCEU, that kind of stuff, and really go from there. Probably about halfway through, if we have time, I'll go onto PTS and just show some of the stuff I've been working on thus far, but they will be coming out early next week as well. Whilst we are waiting though, I have queued up for Battlegrounds, and I am on the Doppler. So this is a Templar that uses dots as its primary source of damage, and then Radiant Oppression or Glory to just finish people off, really. If you are curious, it's Aurora Javelin as a stun. This is really cool. It can't be blocked. It does good damage. It bypasses armor, so it's consistent. We then have Radiant Glory, which heals us and does damage. And we have like 3 dots. We've got Flame Reach, which is a good dot. Reflective Light, which is another dot that can also spread to other people. Firing, which is not a dot, but it procs a set that we use, so it's a really good kind of pseudo dot. The set's amazing. And then Shooting Star, which is our ult. We use Channeled Focus as our armor buff and just a small heal. Doesn't really do much. Consuming Trap, which procs another set as well, so it's another dot. Honor the Dead as a kind of we need to heal, gives us resources back. Degeneration to give us major sorcery and damage, and then we have Elemental Susceptibility, which gives us breach and also 3 status effects, which are like extra dots. So that's kind of what this one is using. Hey Sage, how are you doing? And cheers for the 5. That's really helpful. That is. I'm honestly, I'm absolutely loving the new patch coming out. I'm on BGs if people are curious, just use my dot build. I have not played this in a while though. Come in, let me dot you up. Zap. Oh. See, this is what I love about the dot build. As soon as you dot them, you just watch their health bar just whittle away. So it's really hard to counter it. But yeah, honestly, the new patch looks so good. Zap, zap, zap. Ah, I managed to get him. Oh, Templar is so busted. He's like, he's Mr. Corrosive. You can piss off there, can't you, mate? Zap, 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 zap. Ah, look at him. Dot Templar, so much fun. Like, you're uber squishy. Zap, 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 zap. There you go. Oh, the bean is mad. How is everyone doing tonight, by the way? Oh, he's come back. Yeah, you can have some dots too. Here you go. Enjoy this. Zap, 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 zap. He's dead. 5 kills. Oh, do you see how much damage the dots did to that poor guy? Dead. Yeah, don't die, mate, don't die. Hey, you're right, Simon. Yeah, I've got some really cool builds on the way, by the way. I've been able to get the old Nightblade working, and it is ridiculous. Oh, I want to go for the beam. Oh, my health bar is new. I got greedy there. I got so greedy. Sage says, after the last year of playing Super Tanky, I'm happy to see damage actually go up. people, of course, are going to complain, but about damage. But why is everyone build so tanky? The damage is not going to go up, Sage. It's going to go through the roof. It is ridiculous how much damage you can get on people now. I've been testing stuff on PTS. A friend of mine, Ellen, she's really helped just kind of be a dummy and just absorb hits to see how much damage we do. And she had like 31,000 health and 33,000 armor and full imp and everything. And we could kill her in 2 seconds. And there's a stun in the middle of that, so you can't CC break the combo. It's ridiculous, the burst. And it was consistent. And you can do that at range, you can do it in melee with some of the new sets. It's so refreshing to see damage back in the game. Dead. Don't die, mate, don't die. Simon says he's currently leveling his first Arcanist and find myself with like a 5k damage shield. I think you need to get the rune. There's a rune that you do. I forget its name off the top of my head. But basically it gives you like a really big shield. You can see the dot damage is mad. And someone's using Reliquin. Yeah, the best thing I'd say for any build that you're making is get it to CP and then focus on the build. Because once you're at oh, you got 5 different shields. Sorry, I thought you meant like a 5k shield. Yeah, Arcanist has a lot of shields in their class. There is a really big one that's like the pseudo burst heal. It's like a 10, 15k shield. It's really big. Oh, he started up. Look, oh, I love the dot damage. I tried to get the heal off. Couldn't get the heal off. Yeah, 2 DKs. Sage is saying PvP should first and foremost be about killing. It has turned into a survival game. I would agree it probably has in part. But the damage next patch just seems a lot higher. Hit the Master's Dual Ward. You can see it on the rending slashes. You can see the guy's still taking a lot of damage though. You can look at his health just going down. 10 kills, not too bad. I think the damage though increase is going to be really, really nice come next patch. Like really, really good. What? Just curious. What are people looking forward to next patch, like class-wise? Like for myself, Nightblade. The changes to Nightblade are insane. That is probably going to be like the GOAT's next patch. It's going to be so much damage. I tried getting the kill there. He's running away. There we go. Yeah, for me it's Nightblade. The changes they've made to some of the skills are actually ridiculous. It's going to be really, really fun. It's good to see that this still works for like dot damage. We're just going to push up to the centre and just see what's happening here. I managed to get some dots on that DK at the end. Oh, he's dead. Oh. Oh, look at the dots up there. Look at that poor guy. Look at his health bar go down. I was going to meteor into the spear and then beam him. Oh. Simon says, what's a good way to approach Arcanist? Going with dots or fake carpet or tentacular dread? Stacking weapon damage, in all honesty, is the way to go. I'll switch to my one. I'll show you what I'm using on mine. And I've been running this since the class came out. My Arcanist is down here. Here he is. But you're honestly best, in my opinion, to go and focus on just focusing on stacking the damage, because damage can affect healing. It doesn't with shields currently, but you get like it's more impactful than just going with max stats or with dots, because dots can be healed through quite often. So on my one, I stack damage. I'm using. I've got 5.2k just literally like at all times. Weapon damage. And then I'm running on this Ravaging. This is like godly for Arcanist. It's probably the best set. This gives you 142 weapon and spell damage every time you reduce somebody's armor. You've got a skill here called Cruxweave Armor, which reduces armor when you take hits. So if I just go up to this boss up here, oh, he's dead. Let me find an enemy inside here. But with the Cruxweaver armor, what it does is it lets you proc Ravager for free. And Ravager is one of the best damage sets in the game, but it's really awkward to use. So I'll just show you how much of a difference it makes. We've got 5.2k weapon damage. Let me just find an ad, something to hit me. There you go. Okay. This with Sea Serpent too, 6k. Oh, they stopped hitting me. That's annoying. Oh, is he killing them? Oh, he's killing them, isn't he? Let me move around. Because for the input like PvP, you have dots on you and stuff. So there's the armor buff. You can see that's the Ravager on the right here. And dots will proc this. And now it's on max stats. So just with Ravager, I've got 6.2k. 6k. And then if I heal up and you get Sea Serpent, which I have with this build too. So I let my Ravager go up and get my Sea Serpent back on again. 6.7k weapon damage is what we have. And this, you can basically set this at all times. It's ridiculous how much damage this has. And you can obviously then, when you hit something with a beam, your beam is crazy, crazy high. The way to fix the sustain is you want to go and use Baron, Thrisk and Magma Incarnate, because they always give you that 1, 2, 4 Mag and Sam regen. You could use Roska, which is Roska, sorry, which I personally prefer 1 Baron and 1 Magma. I don't have Magma shoulders yet, because it's more consistent. And you can put on any set you like. I've gone with rallying on the back bar because it gives me damage and defense. So we had 6.7k there with rallying quite. It's like 7,100 weapon damage we sit at. And that's like with no real effort. And then to get more sustain, we use Jewels of Mistral or Smoked Bear Haunch. The Bear Haunch is more expensive. To kind of, should you use dots or not? Some people use proc sets like Master's Dual Wield and the Vate Destro, which gives you the Wrath of Elements proc. I personally find this is more consistent and it helps better in group play. The kind of dot proc set build that you'll see a lot of people run, it's good for like Battlegrounds and no CP, or good in a one-on-one, but as soon as you've got more than one person, your damage gets really limited really quick because you're really reliant on those procs. Whereas this, your damage comes from Flail, and when it's buffed it's like 10k, 10, 12k, and you get the double damage of the low health. And you got your beam, which is again, that goes to like 4k, 5k. There's my rally. This is deathmatch. Got a Sork on the left. So you can see with the beam, it's like very hit and miss with it. You're best using either Meteor or this. I like Meteor, but the tentacle monster is really cool. Does good damage. We're just pushing down here. Oh, poor dude. What's he doing here? He has like 16k health. That poor group up there are like not PvP builds. That does end that. I'll push him to push back. I was not watching behind me. Yeah, those greens are not PvP builds, are they? Oh, that's right. I find a lot of the class sets are pretty meh, in all honesty. The only decent one is the DK, because it gives you major heroism. So you can actually make some cool builds. That was a triple kill, then that was. Against squishy targets, the beam is godly. Whoa! I managed to get a kill on him. And I got hit with the people at the back. It looks like that Shisov had a double fag proc. The one thing I would say with Arcanist is the beam is fun to use. It's not the best though, in all honesty. It's very like gimmicky. Hey, you're right, so been a while. So like you can see that when you expect the beam to hit them, it just doesn't. Oh, something hit me really hard. What hit me? It's only get used to where my skills are. I've not played this fast. Probably about 4 months. Many people master swords insane.
We shall carry the day!
I'm getting a feel for like where my skills are. That Templar was just spamming doing on me. Oh, good thanks. Plays without procs. In all honesty, if I wanted to kind of use it more effectively, I don't use to being that often. I just quite like the green light. It's quite fun to use. It's not the best though, in all honesty. Trying to get the beam charged up with 3 crux. Then to cast the room which is a delayed stun. So that works. And still the that. Like his bulky. Rallying car on top of that. I was like, the other stuff I'm waiting for. We'll see what it's like. Is that better? I've had some issues with my mic. My son Thomas keeps... He's damaged the cable. Yeah, is that any better, Simon? If not, I can... Yeah, we'll check Cyrodiil. We might get, and there's 21-minute wait. That's like horrible. Let's go into Imperial City whilst we're waiting. Oh, Battlegrounds ready. Let's do our BGs. A bit louder, but not quite. Let me add a thing. Bear with me. I'll add a gain to it. I will. All that'll do is just increase the sound. There we go. Testing 1, 2, 3. That should be quite a bit louder now. Yeah, hopefully that should be fine and it's not too deafening. If it is too loud, just do shout as such. Great. Yeah, my son Thomas, he's 4, he is, bless him. And he likes to take my microphone and sing on it sometimes. Which is very sweet. But, of course, when you get all the settings how you like and he touches all the dials and stuff, this happens. Right, we'll just pop into the centre. DK that group. Can I just get a cheeky kill? Oh, I did. I got the cheeky kill. I'm just going to reposition around here. So he's follow me. Oh, he's a bash build, he is. Oh, the I remember that stage. Sorry, that gave me like anxiety. It did afterwards. I want to live. Don't kill me. Oh, he. Right. Why do you have to go die? Recrox beam. Ah. The beam is fun to use though. Oh, I didn't mean to drop down. Oh, I went to go for the kill on him. I ran out of resource. I got too greedy. Yeah, Sage is referring to last week. Not last week, the week before, sorry. Where my audio was like looping on itself. So what happened was you could hear my voice like multiple times. And it was like, echo, 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 echo. And the game time did the same as well. It was really, really bad. And we didn't realise what was wrong for about 10 minutes. Sometimes when you get stuff like this, you just have to reposition. I'm just focusing on staying alive at the moment. Oh, I got interrupted. They bashed me out of it with Crushing Shock. And then a Radiant Glory, 10.5k with 1 tick. Oh, that's filth. The one thing I find with the Arcanist is it's very slow as a class. Alright, we're just getting our resources back. So many dot builds this match. Is the audio better this time round, Sage? Don't die. As Aegis sounds good. Right, let's mist away from that. Put on the defensive buffs. I ran out of resource. The whip hits very hard. The one thing Arcanist doesn't have a good is an execute, which I know sounds really odd because the tentacle is quite good, but it's not instant cast, and that's what I don't like about it. Right, we're just going to push up and just see what's happening up here. Can I get some crux up quick and get a free crux beam? Ah, I got him. Managed to laser him down. Oh, he's got 17k off. Soup said, I found that Blade Cloak works better for mobility than Mist for Arc lately. Yeah, I need to level it up though. That's the problem. He's a corrosive one he has. This corrosive just wore off. You can tell someone's got corrosive when you hit them for the same number like multiple times. Oh, that's my hill. My hill's on the right. I keep pushing Y for my hill. My hill's on the right. Okay, that's my shield, isn't it? That's my hill. Every time I've been trying to survive, I've been pushing my shield and not my hill. This is like what happens when you don't use the build for a while. You kind of forget what each skill does, especially when they all look the same. I want to go from up here. Oh, he ran away. Yeah, I need to have a look into Blade Cloak Soup and see if it's any good. You're probably right. I need to quick cloak have major evasion for 30 seconds and 40. Is that 40 seconds? Oh, is it 4? 4 seconds expedition. Yeah, that does sound pretty good, I'm not going to lie. Because obviously that major evasion is super tanky against certain classes. Right, I'm going to switch character. And we'll see how Warden feels. I've made a new Mag Warden build in the next patch, and I'm really pleased with like how it feels and stat page and stuff. We're going to go on DK first. We can abuse DK while it still works. it's due to get a nerf at some point. How expensive is Quick Cloak Soup? Because that's the thing I find with a lot of melee builds is the speed is very slow. You get a dot as well, don't you? And his physical damage, so you can proc Sauntered, which is a minor breach, so you get pen effectively if you have charged with it. This is Oakenchad DK. It's basically sit in corrosive and just kill people in corrosive. We don't even have a full set of something else. I will, after a few more BGs, have to farm some sets as well, which I know is a bit tedious. I don't like doing farming. But for the Magical Warden, I want to use a new set, which I've been meaning to farm for quite some time. But I just never got around to doing it. Where's all the spiders gone? If you want to make this DK, what you want to do ideally is swap these trickery rings and put on Blessing Potentes, it's called. It's a set. So I'd have one neck, and then basically the weapons here will be Potentes. You keep the Bloodspawn. You keep the trickery ring here, or sorry, Potentes here, Potentes, and then trickery on the rest. And you put trainee on the ring, and that will give you more health than what we currently have on this build. Your damage will be exactly the same. And then what we do for this is we just charge up the 3 breaths, which procs our dragon passive here. So even the Fury, that makes whip hit really hard. So it's a 15k whip almost. And then with corrosive, we've got 100% penetration. So then you just get 15k whips and you just bypass armor with whip. It's really strong. Yeah, Sage is asking, does Battle Spirit affect speed? No. Speed's a little bit... it's simple to understand, but people overcomplicate it, if that makes sense. So essentially, every character has a flat 100%, and you can either go plus 100 to 200 or minus 100 to 0, where you can't move. So think of like immobilize a 0% move speed, you cannot move. Sprint is a flat 50% boost on top. So if you sprint, you're on 150% movement speed, where the cap's 200. Add in some medium armor, you're like 170. Add on major expedition, you're at the cap already. So it depends on what you're trying to do. More often than not, there's a lot more snares in PvP. And that's probably what you're feeling. And also the map's quite large, especially Cyrodiil. Like the distances are bigger. But if you look at classes like DK, they have... Is it Warmth? I think it is. It's one of these. No, not Warmth. I can't remember which one it is. There's a passive one that snares people for you. It's really good. I haven't found it. So there it is. Byro says, when does the new patch come out? The dungeon pack comes out on Monday. The actual chapter itself, I think it's June off the top of my head. It's May or June. I want to say June off the top of my head. But you've got lots of like skills, Sage, that have snares built in just for free. So more often than not, you're being snared by something indirectly. Soup says on his arc he has 3704 stam. That's without reduction glyphs, but I find the positives outweigh the negatives since it's basically insta-cast. Yeah, I think if it's like instant speed, it's probably better. Because I think with Mistform, you've got the slight delay. Sometimes you cast it, but it doesn't port you quick enough. And then somebody hits you in the back, and you're like, oh, for goodness sake. Byron said, have you tried the Esoteric Environmental Greaves? I think that's how you pronounce it. I've got some OP build ideas for them. I haven't yet. They're the ones that, if I recall, they give you like flat mitigation, but you drain your stamina when you get hit. I think that's it. Yeah, on the 11th though, things are stupid. I'll post a picture in the chat in a sec. But yeah, 50. Yeah, that's nuts. That is. I could run that on my Nightblade as well because I've got space. that'd be so stupid on Nightblade. Hello. Goodbye. Yeah. Ah, I love it. Ah, 7k whip. Tasty. No, you stop blocking. That's not a good thing for you to do. It's a health hazard, honestly. We're going to get this dude here. We're going to stun into it there. He can die too. Let's tell that guy something. No. Why are you beaming me? I don't like it. Okay, they've got a healer. So we're going to pop down and get some resources. I have no resources. I've run no resources. Okay, I was getting greedy. How do I get breach? That's well annoying. I miss range. Battle of the DKs. He stole my kill. Love corrosive. You'll be 1vx with the eyes closed, yeah. So if you rolled a lot, that left hand is mythic is pretty crazy. Is that the one that gives you the shield when you roll? So instead of you get dodge, you just get like a 20k shield. Sage, I think that's it. He stole my kill. He stole my kill. Corrosive time. Love me some corrosive. I'll just get our big heal. Thank you. Let's take 11k heal. Ah, they got me with the beam. 8.4k with one tick on the beam. Look at that. That's why radiant oppression is so good. It does so much damage. But you've got people just spamming executes in this match, so it's going to be hard to get the final hits. The DK. We'll just pop down here because there's lots of death up there.
We're so close now.
Ah, my health bar is so low. It's all Templars. You can just see, look, it's just two lots of beams. It says like it's all Templars have left. It's also punished Necromancer and Templar right into the dirt. To be fair, Radiant Oppression, which people call Jesus Beam quite often, you know, I've made builds where you could just use it as your spammable. It is that strong as a skill. But there's no reason to use your jabs because it actually does better than jabs. Ah, I got him. 14 assists. You can see it like literally. Soup says though Netcro is stuck into dot pressure next patch. Yeah, Netcro is going to be in a bit of a weird place next patch. So that is ZDK. Yeah, I've leveled up some skills. Yeah, this isn't that maxed. I'm missing I'm missing my dual ward passive. Let's get that. Get some more damage. We're going to switch character and go on the Magden. I think it's still set up. If not, I will need to switch to something else. I'm just getting a feel for like how classes are feeling currently and what's worth using, what is going to need a bit more work on the PTS. So we've got this Warden here. Yeah, Soup says or flat damage loss with Blighted. You can use Blighted blast bones. That still hits hard. A Sage was going procs and dots for Necro. The blast bones change is weird. Just give Necro major brutality without these weird extras. Yeah. I really hope come next the actual chapter that you can change the resource cost of those skills. Because I know they're introducing the scribing system, I think they called it, or something like that, where you can take a skill and basically modify it somewhat. And obviously for me, I just have like dreams of having essentially a magic execute. Like there's no magic execute for most classes. Like Warden doesn't have one, Necro doesn't have one, Arcanist has a kind of a weird gimmicky one. So, yeah, I don't know. Is this set up? We've got Taurogs and Wretched. Wretched Bat Bar, I think. Balog Monster Set. Master's Ice. Yeah, that looks about right. But Zos being Zos. Yeah, Zos is a bit like that at times. Soup saying he's not against it if it makes blast bones more consistent, but Zos being Zos. I think blast bones like I don't know if any of you've played Last Epoch. But it's an action RPG which I've been like dabbling with, sort of in the week and stuff, and testing stuff on PTS. And I think the way in which they do their minions in that game's pretty cool. And they need to kind of like, I don't know, I just think the minion system for the Necro needs a big overhaul. It doesn't work properly. Blast Bones, as people were saying and officers saying, is it misses all the time. What they would be better, there's a monster set, and I think you guys might have seen it. Do I have it on here? No, I don't. It comes from, it's a DLC set. And I think it's Ice Reach or something like that. There's a Fang there. Not a Fang there. When I see it, I know what it is. There it is. Kalnar's Nightmare. Sage says the Last Epoch is fire. It is really good. What level are you on it, Sage? to the Necro conversation about ESO though, this Kalanars, or however you say it's Nightmare, when you attack, you put a curse on them, and then after X time, a hand pops out the floor and hits them. This is how Blast Bone should work. Like, this is what they should have done to fix the skill. So like if you cast it, instead of the thing running at them, a zombie like something pulls from under the ground and hits them, so that way you don't have any targeting issues. It wouldn't look as cool, don't get me wrong, but it would fix it mechanically. And you could have like a snare where if it pulls, it roots the target because it grabs them. But trying to get it to run and pathfind is incredibly difficult, especially when there's server stability issues and disconnects and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I just think the Necromancer in ESO is a bit naff. Soup says, by the way, if you want to set to test going forward is Shattering Fate. Yeah, I've used that this patch on my Nightblade. Really good, like, really good. It's a lot of penetration, and you can never have too much penetration. It's an 86 Warlock. I've got a Rune Master 76, I think, and I got a Warlock that is 54. It's a Torment Warlock, which is really good. The damage is stupidly high compared to the Rune Master. It was squishier until I got the Prolific Fail or something. It was. As soon as I got that like fail skill where you go in the big ball orb, it's ridiculous. Like, you just don't die in that and you do so much damage. So yeah, they're quite fun, they are. Yeah, Shattered Fate's a crafted set. We'll give it another minute on this queue. Whilst we're waiting, I do want to farm a set from a dungeon. So I might just go in and start to do that whilst we wait. The dungeon is the ice one, Direfrost Keep. I need to farm the ice furnace. I've used Way of the Fire as like a stopgap for this, but I do actually want this for next patch. With the changes to the status effects, it's actually quite a good set because it procs so frequently in an AoE, so you get burning on lots of enemies, which is like a free dot. Sage says, too many games. Last Epoch, ESO, Elden Ring DLC, Dragon's Dogma 2. I've never played Dragon's Dogma. I've seen it, but just never played it. For this Magical Warden, this is kind of designed to give you the old feel of a Magical Warden, if that makes sense. So if you played Magical Warden when it came out, people used Cliff Racer, so pigeons, and beetles. And we use the Cliff Racer because it sets it off balance so we can stun at medium range. So you kind of get that old medium range feel with a stun and snare, some dots, with the vines and the passive healing. Oh, we had a whole freaking team push into me. So I pushed Deep Fisher, but no, didn't run far. There's a pop down here. Go around. My cat needs some water in a second, so let me... When I die next, I'll just quickly grab some water for the cat. So this is where you need an execute. There's a good amount of burst on this Warden, wasn't it? Oh, he hit me hard there, give him that. Why did that Twilight not die? I hit it. It took no damage. That's really annoying. Sage, is still missing Starfield? I like it. It's just trying to find time for it. That's literally it. Oh, this is Chaos Ball. I thought it was Deathmatch. There, got him. That was a good Dawnbreaker there. Let's go get the ball. We probably should play the objective. So I do like how this Warden feels. Oh, almost had both DKs too. Literally got them down to like probably 8k. The whole purple team getting me. I love how Warden feels. Let me go get my cats some water. Be 1 sec. Hello. Sorry about that. I'm just getting the cat some water. Sage, have you played much Starfield, or are you kind of not anymore? Super goes, wait, BGs have objectives. Yeah, I thought it was deathmatch. Like every match is deathmatch. Let's go get the here. This is where you need to execute. Barry says, what's the best class at the moment? I'll say what you enjoy. I know that's a bit of a cop-out, but the new patch is coming out on Monday. So there's quite a lot of changes to it. Nightblade is going to be very good though. Bloody healer. Gotta focus that healer. Yeah, they're definitely in a duo, those two. But you can see that Warden literally ran looking for him. For this patch, I think each class has kind of got its own niche currently, in all honesty. Nightblade's really good for like single target burst. Arcanist is kind of just all round. DK's solid as an all round. Oh, I went to go for my Dawnbreaker. It's 700k damage, you're going to get 3 kills. How much did that healer do? 500k healing. There you go. You can definitely feel when there's a healer in a match, even if they're not doing massives. But yeah, to your question, Byro, each class has their kind of niche. I would say Nightblade's really good for like single target damage currently. They're quite good for 1vx, just because of the burst. Warden's really solid. It's a really well-rounded class. Mag Warden, you need a proc damage set to kind of help just tip it over the edge. Stam Warden is the kind of stack damage, and then go for the Dawnbreaker into beetles, and then you can either use like Spin to Win or Master's Jewel works quite well for spammable, or even using Dizzy and Swing. And then you see a few kind of more niche ones with like the dot Cliff Racer. So the Stam version of it, Cut and Dive, I think it's called. Necro's pretty weak. It's because it's quite like clunky. If it's built right and the blast bones functions well, it's very good, but it's very inconsistent. Templar is very good in group situation. Good at kind of just finishing off people, keeping teammates alive, lots of off heals like indirectly. And Sorcerer is kind of, it's a bit near hit and miss. Like Mag Silk's pretty weak in my opinion. And then as for Stam Silk, it's basically proc sets and streak. That's literally it. Hit them with Master's Dual Wield, hit them with Wrath of Elements, hit them with Elemental Susceptibility, bash them with Mercilok, spin. If they don't die, you just repeat. So that's kind of it really. Rather than seeing like which class is the best, see it as like rock, paper, scissors is the kind of the best way of describing it currently. Bow builds work kind of. You need to use proc sets though. Bow Sork is okay. I prefer Stam Nightblade just because of the cloak. But Bowsilk is viable. As with a lot of these things, people often will react and survive, so you have to stack procs. Where the fire is like a common one used. The thing you will find with Bowsilk is you'll probably need to use Overload as your ultimate to help tip the damage, but you can't. It doesn't let you stack like 2 or 3 things that you could before. Before you were allowed to stack like Crystal Weapon and Overload and Crushing Weapon all together. So you end up hitting with 1 Overload, but it has 3 skills on it and it's so much damage. You can't do that anymore. So it's like Overload and that's it. And if you played with Savage Werewolf when that was really broke, that's been nerfed at range, so it doesn't do it at range anymore. So it depends on like what you used on your Bowsilk as to whether you would have success with it this time round. But what? Me personally, I would use Overload still. It's just it's dirt cheap and it hits really hard, even if you miss 2 or 3 shots. You're going to use Savage. Yeah, Savage got like nerfed to the ground. This set, pardon my language, it is a pain in the arse to farm. Like absolute ball ache. But it's really good. The new Savage Werewolf, it actually still exists in the game, but it's a different set which people haven't used. Where is it? It's Cloud Rest and it's a Reliquin. So Reliquin's really weird because the proc on it lasts ages, obviously. But what's nice is it double procs. So the way in which when you hit them, the dot is on them, but when you reapply it, it refreshes the dot. So often what happens is when this is ticking, you end up getting lots of double hits with this proc. So this ends up going to like sort of 300-400 tooltip. So you're getting about 12 to 1500 every second. And then when you get a double proc, it's 3000 every second. And that it double procs when you just keep light attacking. So this is really, really good. You can apply it to multiple people, but it kind of needs you to keep attacking that person for it to be effective. As Sage was saying, you can use Wear the Fire and you can use I've got it down here somewhere. He used to no life it. Ophidian. Poisonous Serpent. This is really good. So if you use Poisonous Serpent, Soup says it requires someone to maintain. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's good in duels. And you will find if you can keep just light attacking them, you get decent damage. I personally use this for my light attack build. I just need to get some space in my bank. One sec.
May I be?
Don't need that. I don't need that. I've got so much rubbish here. You can tell I was looking for Ravaging. This is Shattered Fate that people are on about. This is really good. That's 7.6k pen, 5 piece. Really strong. Right, that should be enough space, hopefully. This is Light Attack Larry. That's what this build's called. It's like he plays by himself, but he just uses light attacks. It's really stupid. So you proc Poison Serpent easily, and you proc Wear the Fire. And you basically just alternate the procs as you light attack people. So I'll find something a bit tanky, and I can show kind of because these will die too quick. But I personally think this is probably these two sets combined are probably the best light attack style build, or even for Assault, just because of how well they synergize. Assume so they wouldn't use it anywhere but duels.
What do John and Jod send us now?
We're just looking for something like a bit tankier to hit.
I can't do my job. Not with all this going on.
When you poison and jet then you light attack, you're going to get the double proc. So you can literally just go poison injection, then it's just light attack, crushing weapon, light attack, crushing weapon. If you miss the crushing weapon, you get the resources back pretty much. And on the Nightblade, you got the spec bow, which is why I like the Nightblade for this. Did they patch the set that adds 300 damage to all attacks with crushing shock? Dragonknight's grip. They changed it quite a lot. It's not really worth it now. Yeah, Dragonknight's grip's kind of like a... It's a flat damage boost, basically. But it's on everything. So if you have like a dot build, it's good on dot builds. But that's about it. If you think of like a Templar or like something using rapid strikes where you've got lots of little hits, that's where it excels at, or lots of dots, so there are lots of sources of damage. But when you actually add it up, you end up just having more damage using Way of the Fire, in all honesty. So you might as well just use Way of the Fire. Whilst we're waiting, we're going to go to the dungeon, because I just need to get the thing. I'm looking for the ice one, wherever that is. I would have thought it'd be near the top, up here. Yeah, no worries, mate. Yeah, I'm on PCEU. I just use a controller. Ice research, we'll go there. And then whilst we'll wait, we'll just go and see if we can get some set to drop from here. I think the good thing about the PvE is you can just use any PvP build for like this type of content to just farm. So you can do this between kind of Battlegrounds or Cyrodiil. Oh, Battlegrounds. It's always ready.
Who goes there?
I love this build. Yeah, in a moment I'll jump on the PTS. I just want to show you just some of the key changes just before I shoot, so people get an idea of how much the meta is going to change, because there's a lot changing. We have on our team DK, Nightblade and Warden. We've got against us a Templar, a Sork, a Nightblade, a DK. Then on the other team it's a Sork, sorry, DK and Templar. That top guy I recognise, Captain Bucky. I recognise his name. The one that's just getting a feel to see who we are. Okay, you put that guy. You know them to reposition a lot. Oh, that's where my adversary is. Maybe he didn't come down. Resources. Oh, I swapped bar when I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have swapped bar then. He's over there. I've got a DK. Just think. Freaking master forward. That was the Gore has the master lock pop build. It's a very, very solid setup, but just like 4 prop sets. We move down to 4. I'll push my heel and hit me with beam. What does that beam tick for? These people are quite tanky, so I need to go further back to get into melee too much. Oh, got leaped and Dawnbreaker. 12k Dawnbreaker. Ooh. Yeah, I've not been on this in some time. We'll move around. We've been going for the greens quite a bit. Yeah, that was not a good match, that one. Yeah, that was probably one of the worst matches I've had in a very long time. That was. We'll do one more. I will. On this. And whilst we wait, we'll go and see if we can get that some of the ice furnace set that we need. We're after mainly chest and rings and a weapon. I think I need to recharge my phone. Oh. Feels like I didn't have a helmet on. That's so weird. Yeah, that's not going to help missing some pieces of armor. This will probably be the last one, just because of time. And I'll just jump on PTS just to show some of the key changes really fast. On our team we have DK, and Sulk against Nightblade, and Templar, and a Warden. Again, a Templar, Sulk, and Templar.
Time to fight!
Before we go, we actually have a look at who's in here. Oh, that was very close. I need my tri potions on. You need good mag regen. Nightblade for the heals and the cloak. Pretty cool so far. I'm gonna push around the other side and see if we can get some from behind. That Templar over here. push my heal. Didn't let me heal. So I don't know. The Deadlands Demolisher. You don't see many bash builds like that. Often they work really well against like squishier targets, the ones without sustain. That's my sustain at the moment. Really low. Really, really low. Right, we're going to push up to the centre. Move around and then I wonder if the spec barrel into crushing weapons. Oh, so that's light attack Larry. It's literally just light attack Sparrow and spec bow when you can. You get kills. The damage is like solid, and you can catch people out off guard. It's just you're very squishy. But yeah, I will probably go a bit earlier than usual. I'll just jump on the PTS quick, just to, because there's just one change I want to show people, which it hasn't really been talked about much by lots of people. So I think it is worth touching upon. So I'll just be a sec. So if it goes black, you'll see why. And then I've just told the other one to load now. She asked me to tell the game to use that one. There you go. So I just want to highlight just a few, sorry that's my chair, just a few of the key changes. So that was on this build here, because there are some really big things that are going to change how the game is played quite a lot next patch. So this is the same Nightblade that we were using earlier. And on this one, it's the same sets. I will update the build though, because I've got a better sniper, which is really good. So the big change for Nightblade is a lot of like the status effects do loads of damage now, so they're good. But it's this skill here, Leech and Strikes. So before it just used to give you resources after X amount of time, and then if you light attacked or did stuff, you got stamina or magic depending on the morph typically. Now it costs health. So if I use all my resources, like my magic up here, so I'm out of magic. So there we go. I can literally spam Leech and Strikes, and I'll chuck it on now. So you can see the regen's really slow. If I use this, I can use this to get my resources back quite quick. Cast a heal, and then just repeat. There's a really quick way to reset your resources.
Someone, we need help.
And what you can also do with this, there's a morph that gives you more resource back too, is you can cast Cloak on cooldown, and then when you get low like resource, you can go Cloak, Leech and Strike, and then Cloak again, Leech and Strike, Cloak again, Leech and Strike, and you just repeat. So you can sit in Cloak as long as you want if you just repeat that combo. And then every now and again you just chuck out a heal. Vigor would, the heal on Vigor actually overcomes that health cost anyway by quite a bit. So you could literally just go Cloak, Legion Strike, Cloak, Legion Strikes, Cloak, Legion Strikes, Cloak, Legion Strikes, Cloak, Legion Strikes, heal, Cloak, Legion Strikes, Cloak, Legion Strikes. And you can basically just repeat that infinitely. So you can move around in Cloak as much as you like, which is a huge change in PvP. The other big thing with this change is if you're low stamina, so say I've rolled too much here, which is quite a common thing, and I'm gonna be out of resource, I can get behind the tree and move around and just cast this a few times and a heal. And then look, my stam's pretty much good enough to go into combat again. So those are really big changes for the Nightblade, like that particular thing there. The other change is on Necro. That's had quite a big change. If you play Magcro, you're going to have to use Blighted Blastbones because the Stalking one's gone. But that's a big change that I think is going to change the meta quite drastically, because you can sit in Cloak as much as you like. You can reset the fight really fast and really easily. For Warden, they're pretty much the same. Sorcerers had quite a good change, so this was the other class that got quite a bit of love. On a Sorcerer, the big change is that your shields heal you now, which is really, really nice. So previously, when you've been in combat as a Sorc with no pets, you had no heals. You can now use your shield as a heal. And a shield still, so it's really, really good. So again, this is going to be quite a big change for the Sorcerer's survivability. So you can see on here, I've got a shield that's 20,000. If no pets are affected, you also heal for 6.3k. So what's really good is that this is basically now a heal and a shield. It's not the same size as a full heal, don't get me wrong, but it's still good. You also had some changes with Danger Protection as well, so this now works if you have a shield on, you don't need a pet. So you say just saying about no pet getting a buff, which is the big one, and you've got Expert Summoner. Increase your max magic and summon if you have no pet active. So if I take my Twilight off and just put on something else, put in Soul Trap, it's good. So my magic will go up now because of this passive, which means my shield is still a good size. It will heal me. And when you're probably going to, it's a 6k heal, which isn't that big. If I go into Imperial City quickly, just so you can see about how it scales with Battle Spirit, because that's also quite important. So without Battle Spirit, the shield's 20k, and it's a 6.3k heal, so it's not a great heal, don't get me wrong. But if you look at the tooltip, it's still a 6.3k heal. So when you do it, you're getting about 3k extra health, and it can crit too. So if I'll go up and take some damage. But what this means is that as a sorcerer, you can use your shield as a pseudo heal now, and it's essentially like Coag on a Sorc is the best way of describing it. Because you're getting a 10,000 shield plus a 3 or 4k heal, so it's like 14k effective health. So let me get these, just get us low a sec. So you can go look 2k, 3k. So as assaults just do this, they can just keep healing infinitely. And so that's a really big thing for the survivability. Some of the other skills got changed that aren't that, they're not used often enough to be like warranted. I will just get down really low just once more just to show that it can crit as well. You will see the number come up in green as an exclamation mark. These ads just take a while to kill them. 2.9k, 4.3k, so that critted. You'll see that with this heal, it doesn't always proc, so it's a little bit clunky. And sometimes it does show, so it doesn't always show that it's healing, but it does. The Sage has also just mentioned the next thing he's about to mention too. Mines are like really weird now. So Daedric mines, you've got damage, but you could go with a heal instead. So when it's triggered, you could put a shield on them. And so it's kind of like a pseudo heal. Personally, I don't think it's good. So I'll show you, I'll put it down and you can see what it does. It's really expensive for what it does. You pick them up, shield. And the shield isn't massive. Like it's not a big shield. 6.4k shield is not amazing. The only advantage this would have is if you're in a group and you want to give Sage is like is not good. It's good for group play. If you're in a group and you want to give people an extra bit of like health in effect before they push into another group. If you've got like a ball group there, I could literally streak, put down my shields in the way and then move forward. So knowing that all my team will come behind and grab those. And then I've given essentially an extra 30k health. So it has a use. It's just very niche for PvP. Sage is like PvE. Yeah, it's a PvE skill. I'm trying. The other thing was in case. So there's the morph of this does damage now. So it's like an AoE damage skill. And Rune Prison deals damage when it effect is complete. The rest of them are pretty similar though, in all honesty. Bound armor, you can go on either bar, that's a nice change too. That's the other change. So you can wear this on the back bar and get the boost still. So your max magic is increased and you gain mana protection. Oh, shield. So you can see I'm pushing the shield, but it's actually not healing me. It's really clunky. Don't die. What you have to do is you actually have to like light attack weave. I think it's a UI bug, personally. Because when I'm weaving, it heals me almost every single time. But if I'm not weaving, it doesn't heal me. So that's kind of the key changes for Sulk. Is basically they've got more survival is the best way to describe it and summon it up. More survival, and you've got a little bit more damage on the back bar. Essentially, they fixed the Clever Alchemist bug on PvP, so is it still a thing? I've not tested it, to be honest. They did the change for Vampire, which is quite nice. It gives you the Hemorrhaging status effect now, which is a dot. So if I go to like the skeleton, you can see it's got him on him, and it's 1,000 status. That effect, by the way, scales with the resource, it seems. And you can also stack it to get more damage. You can stack up to 3 times. So basically just see it as a free dot. And it also, the proc on it, the dot, procs on the hits, so it's not like every second it procs on refresh. Let me find something a bit tankier. So you'll see like there's a dot, I'll get another hit on the dot and then another hit. So I'm spamming it. So basically, just see this skill doing slightly more damage than its tooltip says. So this is actually really good spammable now. So I think you'll probably see more people use the vampire spammable because it's quite a good skill now. You know, this isn't a max damage build. I've got 10k spammable, which is good. And it's got the dot on there, and if I morph it, it crits if I'm lower health. So it does 33% more damage the lower health I am, and it can crit if I'm below half health. So this is a really good skill. And it's really cheap to run. 1500 Magico, well cheap to use for spammable. You look at every other spammable, 2.3k. Frags, which is another spammable, 2.3k. Yes, they're range, but this is really cheap to use. And you could go crushing weapon as a similar one if you had like melee weapons. Also imbued weapon, and it's still 2.7. So that's kind of the changes for Sork and just Vampire generally. Let me just go this quick. You can also animation cancel it easily, that's the other thing, just before I forget. So you can go to it and like cast it and roll dodge, like that. So when people are low health and they get stunned, you can do that. And you'll get the hit on them still and get the kill. Whereas with a crushing shock or something, you won't get the kill because they'll CC and roll it. So that's the Nightblade changes and the Sork changes. There was a few minor changes to like DK and Templar, but nothing massive in all honesty. Necro had quite a weird change, which I'll show you really quick because it's really changed how the class plays. So let me find my Necromancer. There he is. And the change, in all honesty, I don't see how people would use it in PvP, is my honest take on it. I will play around with it and try and make it work, don't get me wrong. But I don't think it's going to work. We're just loading in now. You see all the add-ons. So the big change with Necromancer is this Gravelord Sacrifice. So this used to be Stalking Blast Bones. So while in combat, summon a skeleton from the ground after 2.5 seconds. The skeleton leaps to you, sacrificing the fallen soul within and mastering your necromantic, I think it's pronounced. It's very late. Energies for 20 seconds. Increasing your damage done with class abilities and damage over time effects by 15%. While active, your third cast of Flame Skull deals increased damage in an area and crits a course on the nearby. Sage says the Master Jeweled Fate Ice Stone combo got nerfed in name, but actually hasn't changed much. Yeah, Sage's, because of the hemorrhaging change, the Master's Jeweled is still very good because it applies hemorrhaging. And so the damage you lost on the proc, you gained on the hemorrhaging status, so it's very similar damage. And then the Fate Staff, because status effects got buffed. They nerfed them, but it ends up being a similar damage again. With this skill, the Gravelord Sacrifice, it wants you to use Flame Skull. So active, your third cast of Flame Skull deals its damage in an area and creates a corpse near the enemy. I can only see this, and this is just my thinking out loud thoughts, yeah? Using Gravelord Sacrifice as a dot buff, which I know sounds really weird. So if you went on something like, because it's damage over time effects, which I'm positive, you can quickly test this actually. I'm positive it affects status effects too. Because if it affects status effects, then, which are basically like mini dots now, they're pretty decent. you could just use this as a dot boost. Basically deadly strikes in a set. And it should also, and again this is me thinking out loud here, buff Soul Assault if it's damage over time. So we can quickly test that. That's really easy to test. So our Soul Assault is 54k. He's going to jump at me. Our Soul Assault, still 54k. Oh, and damage over time is affected by 15%. Just, yeah, it's still not changed. So you would expect that would change. To me, I'll see if it changes in number, but like not in tooltip. If that makes sense. I'm on the PTS by the way, so I can just push like anything down. Right, we're going to move that skeleton over. Let me grab this. Here. What I'm just going to quickly test, because I'm curious actually, I've not tested this bit much. Is it a damage done buff, or is it so will it show on the... Oh, that's not... It's annoying that is. Because if it's a damage done buff, it won't show on tooltips. So we're just going to do a Soul Assault and nothing else. 6923 is what it ticks for. Okay. We'll do the same again, and then we'll try it because I am curious about how it calculates it. Okay, so we've got that buff now. Yeah, 8476. So actually, that's a really big buff. That's a lot better than I thought. That is. So the dot is 1100 without, and with the buff 1300. We're just going to check the status effects quickly just while I'm here. Just because I am now curious. And this is what I've been doing on PTS, testing different sets and stuff. So I do have quite a few build videos actually due to come out next week. And we're looking for a skill respec, some utility I think. Yeah, so Sage was saying that the dual wield and Vate stuff is still good, which they are still very good. Utility. There you go. So if you have joined us, what we're just currently doing now is just in the PTS. We're just testing some of the changes. Most I have tested, but not the Necro. That's the only one I haven't played with much. Right. So we can see the dots. 1099. 1275. So that's the burn one, that is. And we'll check. Yeah, 1384. So the buff from the blast bones buffs all the status dots too, which means I think we're on this character already. I think I took it off it. Oh, that'd be annoying. There's a set that increases the status effect duration by like 21 seconds. But yeah, so that's like the big change with this skill here. This basically buffs dots. It won't show in your tooltips, but you will do more damage. Your class skills do more, and you could use Flame Skull as your spammable, but Flame Skull is really bad, so yeah, I wouldn't personally. And this is like, yeah. So, yeah. I think Necro's in a really weird place next patch. Does it buff the heals? Sage says Necro makes me sad. That'll drop me a ghost quick. I want a skeleton. I want a corpse. What I want to test, just really quick whilst we're here, is Mortal Coil healing. Because it's damage done, but does it... It increases damage done with class abilities and damage over time, but does it apply to heals? So, 760. Yeah, no, it doesn't. So it only affects your actual damage output, not your damage, your like dot heals as such. So yeah, Necro's in a bit of a place. Sage is like lame. If it's me personally, if you were going to try and use this Blast Blows buff skill, there just isn't any good enough skills around to make it worthwhile. I don't think it buffs your ultimate either. We can try that quick. Because again, that should be quite easy to test. We'll do the 7142. Okay, that was the first hit. Okay. I'm going to try it again. Does it buff this? Yes, it does. That's interesting. So, the Blast Bones will buff your Colossus ult, which I guess is somewhat okay. But yeah, that's kind of the change there. It's pretty bad. Like Necro, you have to use the Stand Morph. That's non-negotiable. And if you want to try and use the other one, you have to go into a dot build, because the other skills are just not worth it. So Sulk, just to sort of summarise, really big shield, loads of survival, some passive magicka, which is slightly extra damage because of bound armors on the back bar as an option. Shields heal you. Nightblade just have infinite sustain now. Crazy, crazy good. The Necromancers are very hit and miss, in all honesty. They're not what I would use. Arcanist is kind of how they were before. You can see I've been working on a Vampton, a Shadow Sniper, and these are my builds I've been making. And Templar is very similar to what it was. But I'm going to call it there, and I'm probably going to record some videos after this, which will be over on Patreon in the next couple of days, and then I'll make them public in a week or so. If you get any questions though about builds and stuff, then obviously do put a comment down below and whatnot. Equally, you can join our Discord. There's been some things on screen already, but we have a Discord. There's like loads of people there, and if you get any questions and stuff, I'm more quick to reply there than I am actually on YouTube, just because it comes to my phone. Sage says, if you do a test, Clever Alchemist, don't do it on stream. Don't risk a ban. I was just about to do it. Nah. But if you want to see and chat and stuff afterwards, there's Discord. I'm in there quite often. But I'm going to call it there, because it's been long enough and it's late here. Loads of cool stuff coming Monday. Look out for the new patch. Look out for new builds and stuff on the channel. I want to say a big thanks to Sage for supporting, and just people generally. Likes, comments, shares really help. But as always, I'm going to say thanks for watching. Take care. And bye.